Oh my god, this is perfect for Rumi! This is just like her! The K-Pop Demon Hunters movie took the world by storm. And I don't just mean, like, it got popular. No. The songs are charting. They were nominated to a VMA award with one of the songs. And of course I've seen it as well. I absolutely loved it. So in this video, I want to try to recreate the 3 main characters from Huntrix in The Sims 4. But I'm not gonna use any custom content. There are other people out there who have made the same video concept, but they all make these glorious, amazing characters. There's a lot of custom content, like the hair is custom content, the marks, the eyes, and I know there's a lot of people out there who either don't have access to custom content, don't know how to do it, or just don't like playing with it. So I've uninstalled all mods and all custom content. This is just legit Sims 4 stuff. I think we should start with Roomie because not only is she my favorite, but she's also the leader of the group. And this looks absolutely nothing like her. So let's try again and delete this first guy. I don't know who he is, but at least this is a woman. So we can work with it, even though she doesn't look like Roomie yet. Rumi is Korean, so she has a classic Korean skin color, which is like very light and warm in the movie. So something like this I think is pretty accurate to Rumi. Now, all these characters are stylized to have very large eyes. I actually think this eye shape is pretty good. I'm just gonna try to make the eyeliner wings or eyelashes or whatever it's supposed to be more upright, because her eyes are kind of like going upwards at the ends, which I think is really pretty. So let's try to get that detail in here. I think her eyebrows are like pretty accurate. They are not like very thick, but they're also not the thinnest of the group. So I think like a medium thing like this with the curve at the end is good. Now all their noses are very small, but I still want this to look like semi-realistic. So I'm not gonna go too small because I do want it to look like an actual person in The Sims. And because The Sims is a different style than the movie, making it too accurate will just seem really weird, even though neither the movie or a normal Sim seems weird. And let's try to find... This is pretty good. I didn't have too high of hopes for her hairstyle, honestly, because it's very unique, but you know, maybe we can find something. She has a very unique hairstyle, so I don't expect to find a perfect match or anything, but we can always like browse the options and come back to one if... Oh my god, this is perfect for Rumi! This is just like her! Oh my god. That's the perfect hairstyle. I was expecting to have to go back to that first one, but this is awesome. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna look at the rest of the options, but I highly doubt we're gonna find anything better. Okay, now let's try to get her face shape better because the hair is out of the way and we can see it more clearly. She has a very pointed chin, not as pointed as Mera's, but definitely more pointed than Zoe's. So let's try to make her face shape more accurate and make her eyes a little bit bigger, maybe? Yeah, I like that. Okay, this is looking very promising so far. I know the hair color isn't nearly as vibrant as her actual hair color, but this is the only purple we have in The Sims. The other one is like clearly pink. So pastel purple is at least closer than a completely different color, even though it's not the right purple shade. But you know, when you don't download any custom content, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. I'm going for these outfits for the girls. So right now I'm gonna try and find as close as a match of the white undershirt and the yellow jacket. And this is honestly pretty good because it has both the white and the yellow, and it has long sleeves, but it's cropped at the middle. So that's a lot of criteria right there. I'm gonna browse through the rest of the options, but I think we might have a winner there. This is pretty close. But the only thing is that like the jacket has more detail, kind of like this, but it's just that one was the completely wrong yellow. Like this is a completely wrong yellow, but ooh, This is perfect. This is the perfect yellow jacket. Okay, the only thing that could have made this better was if it came in an option with the black shirt underneath be white, but you know, that's a small detail. We can easily live with that. And she has, I think the shorts are actually dark blue, so I'm gonna click on both blue and black here. I don't I can't really tell that much if it's black or blue, but this, okay, hear me out. I know that her shorts right now in this scene of the movie don't have those extra details, but it just fits the vibe. Like, it looks a lot like something on Zoe's outfit, and of course the girls need to be coordinated. So, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. And then some simple black boots. These have a better heel though, so I'm gonna try to find a mix of the... Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't expect us to be able to find someone with a red stripe down from the top to the bottom, but we can always look. There's no harm in just checking. No, there's not a better match. These are the best ones in my opinion. Now, Roomie has a necklace, but I'm not sure if any necklace will show up. No. Okay. Some shirts don't work with necklaces, and unfortunately this jacket is one of them, but you know, we can't trade the jacket away. That was too good. Some earrings though, these don't really look like it, and these hoops are too big. Like, in some scenes of the movie she does have more prominent earrings, but I think I'm gonna be a little bit more boring with the ones for this outfit. Like, maybe something simple like this. I think that works really well, because she does have those rings as well, and let's call her Roomie Huntrix. I don't actually know what her last name is, so I'm just gonna call all the girls Huntrix for last name. Her aspiration, maybe something family related, or maybe just, you know, I think she really wants to be accepted as a good person despite her background. So I think I'm gonna pick something based on being loved and being liked. I think the closest one was this one, Friend of the World, where she just, you know, aspires to be liked by as many people as possible. I think that's pretty Roomie core. And then she's definitely practice makes perfect, music lover, and good. I'm gonna give all the girls music lover and good because, you know, that's what the whole movie is about. But then the last trait I'm gonna customize based on the character, and Roomie is explained to be, you know, a workaholic who doesn't know how to relax. So I think practice makes perfect, where the sim will try again and again and again until they really like the result. I think that's pretty Roomie core. Now it's time for Zoey, my second favorite character. Not because I really hate Mira or anything, I just think that Roomie and Zoey are just the cutest little characters. Zoey has thinner eyebrows than Roomie, so we'll try with these ones. And she has black hair, so for once it's not gonna be difficult to find the accurate hair color. Now let's just look at hairstyles, because she does have space buns. Oh, it's more like this though. She does have like space buns kind of, but they're not on top of her head like in the first one. They're more to the sides like this. But this one's just missing the bangs and the like little money pieces, I think they're called. So this is not entirely accurate either. This one I like. I really like this one, but I'm not sure. Like, hers are more buns than this, but I'm not sure we're gonna find anything better because the rest of it is like perfect. So I think having the bangs and the money pieces and the buns or whatever sticking out in the back instead of in the front, those are just a lot of details that we would lose if we chose another hairstyle. And this one has just one downside, but it has a lot of pluses. So I think ultimately this is the best one. Now, Zoey's face is definitely the most rounded in the features, both in the nose and chin of the girls. So I'm gonna try to mimic that by choosing more rounded features than Roomie's very pointed chin and nose. And then, of course, I'm gonna try make her eyes a little bit bigger than a normal Sims, because, again, the stylization in the movie does make their eyes very, very large and their noses very, very small, which is a very cute look. But, you know, it's not always that easy to recreate something that's slightly unrealistic with The Sims, which has like a very realistic create a sim. So Zoey's lips are definitely more pink than the average Sims lips. So I'm just gonna choose like a pretty natural looking lipstick for her, even screw the opacity down, because yeah, I definitely think this lip color is a lot closer to Zoey in the movie. I don't know if she is wearing lipstick in the movie or if they just drew her lips like that, but either way, this is a much closer look than the natural Sims lip color. So let's find her an outfit as well, because this is not looking anything like what Zoey wears. She has like a blue tank top. This is really close with like the black top and everything, but it's just not a crop top. So I'm gonna try and see if there's a closer match. I don't really think there will be, because the color was spot on. Like a kind of cyan-y blue, and also the black straps that go around her neck at the top was very good. This is kind of there as well, but it's just not giving, you know? It's just not giving. I think the first one is still the best option, but I'm gonna try and browse through. No, I don't really like any of these options as much. I know it's not a crop top, but the rest is pretty spot on, so we will just have to sacrifice the crop top element, which is okay, you know? We're not gonna get it all, and that's understandable when it is just The Sims and they haven't made special outfits for these girls. Now, the best way to describe Zoe's pants, I would say, is like those workers wear, like with black, a lot of pockets and black and like yellow details. Maybe that's just a thing where I'm from though, so maybe that description is not very accurate, but something like this, kind of. This is just a little too yellow. I don't really... this is better. And it also kind of matches her shirt, because they're both like the same shade-ish of blue, the same tone. This is too much of like sweatpants. I think these are the best options. Yeah, these don't match as well. I think this looks more coordinated, and their outfits definitely look coordinated. So if I can't get a super close look, then I can at least go for the vibe. Okay, on the topic of super close looks, these shoes are like, I'm like blown away. I'm sitting here looking at the picture versus my sim, and it's like basically the same shoe. That's crazy. Now, she has like pretty prominent bracelets on one hand, and then some like straps around her other arm on her other side. So of course we're not gonna get any super close matches, but I'm just gonna try and pick what looks the most like it, and this honestly gets pretty close. You also have to remember that once you actually play The Sims game, you're not as zoomed in on the character. So we're looking for something to resemble the bigger picture here. But she definitely does have earrings, and we are gonna try to get as much detail as we can while still focusing on like how it looks in the end. So I'm gonna try and find some earrings here. I like the idea of making them golden, because, you know, if you've watched the movie, you know why golden things is like the Huntrix color. But this is Zoey Huntrix, and her pronouns are also she, her in the movie, so I'm just gonna set them as that. If that's like canonically incorrect or something, please do let me know, because that would actually be really interesting. And for her trait, that is like her unique one, I made her cheerful, because I think she's a very happy-go-lucky character, and that's a big part of why I adore her so much. And then I went back to Roomie here and used the same lipstick and the same shade, because her lips were also not pink enough compared to the picture. But you might be wondering why I'm not making The Sims any other outfits, and that's simply because I could spend 3 hours on this. Like, I could make a 3-hour video on these girls, because I love them. And while I'm trying to get a woman here, like, what are the statistical chances of hitting a man this many times in a row? And watching this now, I do realize I could have just swapped the gender on the first guy, instead of looking like an idiot trying this many times. Oh well, that's fine. Mistakes were made, and this voiceover won't fix anything. But Mera, who we are working on now, has the sharpest of the features, and she has something that the other girls didn't have, which is her mouth. She has like a resting bitch face almost. Like, she is not a bitch by any means, don't get me wrong, but she looks mean when her face is like resting. And she also does say herself that she has like a bad temper. So I think this was like a character stylization they chose because it kind of reflected on her personality, which is cool. She also has a hairstyle that I don't really expect. I mean, this is kind of close actually, but I don't really expect to find her hairstyle in the Sims hair catalog, because her hairstyle is very unique. It's like laying down on her back at the same time as she has like kind of itty bitty pigtails at the top. That then fall down on top of the just loose hair. And I don't remember anything in The Sims 4 being like that. No, I've reached the end now. But we did find a few options. I think this one was my favorite because it does have the same separation, but still like a volume down the back. And I think that, I know it's not 100% accurate, but from the front, it kind of resembles it. So I'm just going to go with this one. And again, I've mentioned it a few times, but her features are definitely the most pointed of the group. And it's even more than this, but I made it the more unrealistic and far away from the character somehow it looked. Again, that's the thing about mixing realism, like The Sims 4 is meant for. With a clear stylization, like in the movie, it ends up, if you go to the extremes, it ends up looking just pretty weird. Now, let's try and find something for her outfit. This shirt is actually not bad. She's wearing like a black top, but it's not just purely black, like it has patterns and cute little details. But none of this is really like giving, you know? I think the shirt she's wearing is still the best option we've found so far. A lot of these shirts do have the right dimensions, but they're just all black, and that's just not what her shirt looks like. So I'd prefer just some kind of detail, even if it's not like the same very accurate details. I think it's still better to choose something that has details, because I think it gives more of the correct vibe, at least, even if we can't get a result that looks 100% like in the movie. Like, this has some details, but hers is not a zip up, and it doesn't even have long sleeves either. So I don't know, it's not really giving, you know. I'm willing to sacrifice some things, but that's just not it. And let's remove all these gloves and whatnot, because that honestly kind of looked like the demon marks and patterns instead. Ooh, this skirt is perfect. Like, it even has the markings of the zipper and such that Mira's has in the picture. And the reason why I didn't try to make like patterns for Roomie is because, you know, I just already know that in The Sims 4 there's not going to be anything that looks like those demon patterns, and also they're not visible in this scene in the movie, so it wouldn't really look like her. But I've given Mira her gloves. I really love fingerless gloves. I think it's a really badass look for her. And now I'm trying to go for, I think it's actually just boots that go that far up on her legs, but we're not gonna find anything like that in the Sims shoe catalog, so I made them by giving her really long socks that have like red detailing, and then just picking some black boots that didn't clash too much, making it too obvious that it was in separate layers. So Mera Huntrix will be world famous celebrity, and you're a music lover. Hot-headed sounds accurate, and then of course also good. I forgot to mention, but I made Zoe's aspiration big happy family. But here are the finished results. This is an all-around look at Roomie. Then we have, of course, Zoe. Lastly, we have Mira. And yes, I know they're not 100% accurate to the movie, but I think they're pretty close looking, and I really like the end results. But thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you liked it. Remember to like and subscribe if you did, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. Bye!